Figures of speech. What are figures of speech? A figure of speech is a word or phrase using figurative language that has other meaning than its normal definition. In other words, figures of speech rely on implied or suggested meaning rather than a dictionary definition. We express and develop them through hundreds of different rhetorical techniques, from specific types like metaphors and similes to more general forms like sarcasm. Now students, this is the definition of figures of speech. Now in the simplest manner, we can understand that figures of speech are ornamental languages used by poets or writers to add to the beauty of the lines or beautify the lines or enhance the meaning of the line. As ornaments are worn by people to add to their beauty, similarly, figures of speeches are used by authors, poets and writers in their literary piece to beautify their lines. Now let us learn the figures of speech. First, simile. A simile is a comparison between two unlike things using the words like or as. Examples: as slippery as an eel, like peas in a pod, as blind as a bat, eats like a pig, as wise as an owl. Metaphor. A metaphor makes a comparison between two unlike things or ideas without the use of the words like, as or so. Metaphor is also known as implied simile. Examples are heart of stone, time is money, the world is a stage, she is a night owl, he is an ogre. Alliteration. Alliteration is the repetition of the beginning sounds of neighboring words. Examples: she sells seashells. Here the word S is repeated. Second example: Walter wondered where Winnie was. Third example: blue baby bonnets bobbed through the bayou. Next example is Nick needed new notebooks. Another example: Fred fried frog's legs on Friday. Next figure of speech is repetition. Repetition is a central part of poetry that adds to the enjoyment of a poem. Words, phrases, or lines are repeated to serve a purpose or to emphasize a certain point. Examples: oh, her eyes make the stars look like they are not shining. Her hair falls perfectly without her trying. Next is refrain. Repetition of one or more phrases or lines at intervals in a poem, usually at the end of the stanza. The refrain often takes the form of a chorus. So in this figure of speech, one or more phrases or lines are repeated, usually at the end of the stanza. Example: tobacco is a dirty weed. I like it. It satisfies no normal need. I like it. It makes you thin. It makes you lean. It takes your hair right off your bean. Is the worst damn stuff I have ever seen. I like it. Three figures of speech which I have explained you just now: alliteration, repetition and refrain. These all are based on repetition of certain letters or words or lines or phrases. This you have to keep in your mind, students. Alliteration is the repetition of letter or sound. Repetition is a figure of speech in which words are repeated. And refrain is a figure of speech in which a phrase or a line is repeated, usually at the end of the stanza. Personification. Personification gives human qualities to non-living things or ideas. Human qualities, that is, giving life or qualities of living creatures to inanimate objects or non-living objects. Examples: the flowers nodded, the snowflakes danced, the thunder grumbled, the fog crept in, the wind howled, the sea roared, etc. Here you mark the words nodded, danced, grumbled, crept in, howled. These are all the qualities which are living creatures or the habits or the actions human or living creatures do. Whereas the other words like flowers, snowflakes, thunder, fog, wind, these are inanimate objects. So when human qualities are given to inanimate objects or human actions are given to inanimate objects, it is personification. Next is onomatopoeia. Onomatopoeia is the term for a word that sounds like what it is describing. So these are sound words. The words itself expresses its meaning, like whoosh, splat, buzz, click, oink, splash, etc. These all are sound words. These words, the pronunciation of these words itself gives its meaning. Next is irony. Irony occurs when there is a marked contrast between what is said and what is meant, or between appearance and reality. It is just the opposite to what is said. This is just the opposite to its literal meaning. Examples: how nice, she said when I told her I had to work all weekend. When the lady told her friend that she had to work all weekend, her friend's reply or expression was how nice. So this is verbal irony. This is just the opposite or just a way to say or tell her that it was very nice, but literally she meant that it was really tough or it was really not good. Another example: a traffic cop gets suspended for not paying his parking tickets. This is situational irony. Cop here refers to police. So the traffic police gets suspended for not paying his parking tickets. So he did not pay the parking tickets. Being a cop, he was suspended. The Titanic was said to be unsinkable but sank on its first voyage. Titanic was said to be unsinkable but it sank. So these all are situational irony. Similarly, you can see the other two examples also. Next figure of speech is antithesis. The juxtaposition of contrasting ideas in balanced phrases. So these are contrasting ideas. Example: as Abraham Lincoln said, folks who have no vices have very few virtues. What are vices? Vices are flaws. Virtues are virtues. So those who have no vices have very few virtues. This is a contradictory line. Next, oxymoron. An oxymoron is two contradictory terms used together. The previous figures of speech was antithesis, in which it was contradictory line, and oxymoron is two contradictory terms used together. Examples: peace force. How can a force be peaceful? Kosher ham, jumbo shrimp, sweet sorrow. free market, regularly irregular, kind cruelty. So these all are contradictory words. Next, hyperbole. Hyperbole uses exaggeration for emphasis or effect. Exaggeration means extra use, it is exaggerated. Now examples are, I have told you to stop 1,000 times. Might be the person has told 5 to 6 times, but just to emphasize the purpose, the person exaggerates the matter and says, I have told you to stop 1,000 times. Next example, that must have cost $1 billion. I could do it forever. She's older than dirt. Everybody knows that. Here the last figure of speech that we are going to study is transferred epithet. Transferred epithet is a figure of speech where a modifier qualifies a noun other than the person or thing it is actually describing. Here we have used a modifier, not an adjective, because modifier qualifies a noun other than the person or thing it is actually describing. In other words, the modifier or epithet is transferred from the noun it is meant to describe to another noun in the sentence. Example, a careless match, a scornful eye. So students, I have explained you the figures of speech. So you go through the video, listen to the explanation and try to understand.